Hey yo, what is going on everybody? It's your boy X coming at y'all with a brand new video, and as you guys can see, it's another tier list. We already know what's going on with this, so if you guys are excited, make sure you guys smash the like button down below, as well as comment, I guess, what's your favorite card in my team? Because this one, we are doing the best free cards in 2K21. I've just went through, picked up some guys. These could be cards that you find in the Triple Threat offline vault, that wonderful thing that you have to get on ball drops from Triple Threat online. Guys that you can get from the exchange, which is, kind of cool. And there was some of the season reward ones from the seasons of giving, which are kind of like in here and all that sort of stuff, as well as some agenda guys in here. I'm not gonna have any token market cards because in a sense those can kind of not be free, because you can kind of pay your way to tokens and all that sort of stuff. So just let that be known, as well as some ascension guys. So make sure you guys subscribe. You guys new, we are on the road to 10k subscribers. Hope you guys have hit that if you can, and it's gonna be a great time. You can also check out the point guards through centers tier list linked in the description down below, and have some fun with it. We're gonna mix it up and do a tier list the old-fashioned way, just because somebody said he missed the old ways of tier list, so we're gonna mix it around for this one time and see how it goes. But I'm a little bit rusty, so beware of that. So first guy we do have is Diamond Antoine Walker. Antoine Walker, he's kind of outdated at this point, and if you go and look, I'm pretty sure he doesn't have quick first step. He doesn't have great defense. He's just kind of like a good shooter. Bronze range is cool. Nice finisher. But I don't see myself jumping out to use him ever, nor do I ever see anybody else really use this Antoine Walker card. So C tier, it is for him. I'm not really a fan. Galaxy Up Antoine Jameson, I mean, let's be real. Let's keep it a buck. He is anything lower than S tier when it comes to a free card is wrong for Antoine Jameson. Card's a demon. He does everything crazy. I mean, like, come on. And the jumper is money. I've heard so many people just rave about this Jameson card, and it makes me kind of regret the fact that I have a solid 6 games total played in heat check domination. But you know what? For another day. Next up is Andre Iguodala, a card that I did get, and I was so disappointed that I worked so hard to get this Iggy card. Like, he's cool, he's a good defender, and he can slash at the basket, like, dunk on everybody. Like, yeah, that's fun, but that's not what I'm paying you for. So, into B tier, man. I like some guys that can shoot a little bit more, and just have a better jumper. There's just something about Iggy's jumper to me that just does not feel consistent. It just does not fall. So B tier, it is for him. Same thing goes with Allen Iverson. I feel like I didn't know this until I was looking up some of the cards for the tier list. Allen Iverson does have gold range. I didn't know it, and most of you guys are probably like, hey, yo, X, that's like obvious information. Like, what do you want? But I didn't know, and I apologize for it. But Allen Iverson is cool. He just kind of suffers from like lack of height and defense. You can add clamps to him if you want, and then he could be a pretty solid card, but really, why would you? Just pick up some of the newer cards that are dropping. There's a lot of nice, PGs that are getting out there and that are fun. I just don't really see too much, especially when there's like a new Ruby Bonga who's like 5k. I don't really see a reason to use his AI. Next up is Alex English. Kind of the same sentiment of Antoine Walker I kind of have for this Alex English. Like, he's a really good slasher. Can't really place too much defense, but if I remember correctly, English does get quick first step, and that sort of stuff from it. So I kind of feel like I like him a little bit more, plus the mellow jumper. It's kind of nice. So I guess I'm kind of leaning to B tier with him again, but I guess he's really not on the level of Iggy. So, we'll go with C with him. Next up is Aaron Gordon. I say this every single time Gordon pops up because I just want people to remember how much he annoys me with this. He just does not dunk. Everything else about this Gordon is insane, but he just does not dunk. It was like they knew putting a card with Hall of Fame Showtime and all of those amazing dunking packages was going to be next level. So they put some underlying, like, hidden 2K dev stuff in the background just to make this Gordon card terrible when it comes to in the paint. He just takes way too many layups. But aside from that, he's still a great shooter. He still locks it down on defense. It's a beautiful all-around defender, so I still think A tier is pretty worth it for him. I still think he's a great card. He's just not... he just doesn't jump out as amazing to me. Next up is Ruby West Matthews. I think he's the reward this season, the Ruby Agenda Award, and he's a cool card. I think he's solid. I'm pretty sure he comes with like gold clamps and all that to be just a solid defender for you, which is cool, and has some good shooting badges with like bronze range and all that, but really not a finisher, really not a playmaker. Good jump shot, But again, I just don't see myself jumping out to use as Ruby Matthews. So C tier. He's good, but just not my thing. Pink Diamond Wayne Embry. I mean, let's keep it a buck. He's S tier. I mean, Wayne Embry still is an absolute just demigod on the court. Like, I'm telling you now, this Wayne Embry is still one of my favorite guys to just run at the power forward, because I feel like he just plays so well all around. Good defender, can still get to the basket and finish like crazy. He can still shoot with that D-low jump shot base. The defense is all around amazing. I still love Embry. Next up is Domin Vlade Divac, and he's just one of those guys that I just don't feel like I like. I don't know what it is. There's just something about Vlade. It's probably his terrible speed and just not amazing defense. There's just something about him that just rubs me the wrong way. Really just doesn't make me want to use him. Set shot 16, his jumper is pretty cool. It's nice, you know, post guy, like, it's cool. But I don't know. He's just not really somebody that I guess I want to use. I'm leaning towards putting him into C tier, but I feel like he's still a good center. You know, we'll leave him in B. It looks a little awkward, but I'm leaving him in B. Next up is the dentist, Mr. Teir. I don't want to say his last name because it kind of sounds awkward, but I mean, like, S tier. I mean, come on. Anything but S tier for Teir is just flat out wrong. My guy, with surgical precision, get it? Because he's a dentist, goes through and just wipes out everybody's team. I think he's got the Rudy Gay jump shot base, which is just so clean. It is money. It is beautiful. I mean, like, Teir is just that guy. And speaking of another Teir, we have Teir Cummings, one of the triple threat offline rewards, if I'm not mistaken. For these, or no, triple threat online. Sorry, he was a triple threat online reward in the that ball drop system, as wonderful as it is in there. And I mean, this Teir Cummings is pretty cool. You know, jump shot 36, not a bad jumper, and he's got some pretty nice stats to go along with it. Solid shooter, really good finisher, like really good inside, and can still kind of shoot the three ball a little bit. You know, Hall of Fame hot zone hunter. He's got an 85-3. Like, it's cool. It's nice. I don't, again, see him, like, jumping out to me as, like, an amazing card, but I still think he's solid. I think B tier is fair for him. Next up is Pink Diamond Stephen Curry, a card that, I'm not going to lie, I've actually started falling away from. I'm convinced that, like, 2K's got something in there where the longer cards are out, they just don't play as well, and Curry's just starting to not play as great as he should. I still think he's still up here in the top 2 tiers, but I feel like Curry's definitely not on the level of Jameson and Teir. Maybe on the level of Embry, but Teir and Antoine are just definitely better than Curry. So I think I'm gonna have to put him in A tier, which is kind of tough because I love him. But yeah, I think we're gonna do it. Next up is Sharif Abdul-Rahim. I'm just gonna put him C tier. He's just like a jack of all trades, master of none. He just okay defense, okay shooting, good finishing. That's what you get with him. Shane Battier is also going into C tier because I personally have a vendetta against him. I just do not like this Shane Battier. He didn't play defense as good as he was supposed to. He didn't shoot as good as he was supposed to. He disappointed me in the biggest way possible. Just no. Next up is Amethyst Robert Covington, though, who I think honestly is definitely a B or A tier card. If you wanted to put him in either one, I feel like it's fine. When it comes to just straight up being a free reward card that can kind of just do what he's supposed to do perfectly, Roko's got it. I mean, he's meant to kind of be like that 3-and-D sort of, forward, and I think he plays that great. He's an amazing defender, especially all around. Can even interior defense a little bit. He can shoot it pretty well, and even kind of finish if you want him to. But I'm going to throw him into B tier. I think he's solid. Could have a better jump shot. The one that he has is good, but it's not amazing. But still, he's a really solid card. Next up is Pink Diamond Richard Jefferson. I remember the absolute grind that it was to get this Richard Jefferson card. It was not easy. But the triple threat method that I ended up dropping on YouTube ended up helping a little bit. But I do think this Richard Jefferson card, I feel like, is hurt by one thing and one thing only, and that's jump shot 57, just a little bit too slow. If you look at this card, I mean, like, stats and badges are amazing, but I feel like that jumper just hinders you like crazy. He's still a great slasher, and I think he can still definitely shoot pretty well, but I don't think I would take him over. I feel like I wouldn't take him over, like, significantly over Iggy. I feel like they're just kind of equal to me. Next up is the Diamond Richard Hamilton, who was the last card I think that we ended up getting to unlock Baron Davis. I think you had to get Hamilton, and then you ended up getting Baron, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's kind of how it went. But Rip is, again, one of those guys who's kind of like just 3-and-D, just kind of like meant to come out there, play defense on the perimeter, and shoot a bunch of threes, and that's really about it. And I think he actually does it really well, because the jump shot 40 on Rip feels great, a lot better than it does on some other cards. Shame Battier. But it's still great, it's still solid, and I feel like I want to put him in A tier, but I don't feel like he's on the par, like on the level of Curry and Gordon right now. Now, Pink Diamond Ralph Sampson, get down to D tier. There ain't no way. Anything but D tier is an abomination to everybody else above him. Like, Ralph is just, he's slow, he can't really shoot, he doesn't play defense as well as he's supposed to, no, D tier for Ralph. Next up is Rafer Alston. I think easily can go up into the A tier. When it comes to free cards, Rafer Alston is beautiful. He is a little bit of an undersized guard, like, I won't lie to you. It's definitely, he feels a little tiny, but he's got the trade break base. He comes with like silver range. He still plays great defense. He can still slash pretty great. It's just an overall awesome card, and he carried me in limited for quite a while when it was like you could only use up to diamonds. This Rafer Alston was definitely one of those guys that was up there bringing the heat for me. Next up is Pink Diamond Paul Pierce. I know a lot of people, I think, still kind of like this card, but he's outdated, man. I mean, Paul Pierce, C tier. I just don't feel like he's that amazing. Like, yeah, he's a shooter. He's got range. Like, that's cool. He can kind of play defense, but he kind of feels slow. He kind of feels clunky, and it's not my cup of tea. Eventually, when we get a better Paul Pierce card, he's for sure going to be, like, ranked higher, and he's going to be a lot better. But just, to me, not great. Next up is Otis Birdsong, who is a little bit difficult for me to rank. Otis was a card that we got for the Halloween set, which was pretty cool. He was possessed Halloween cards, and it was an interesting time, I guess, to say the least, trying to grind for a lot of these cards, especially this Otis Birdsong, because obviously he was one of like the first pink diamonds that we could like go out and get and just like grind for, which was cool. And I think he's still a solid card. I think the only thing that hurts him a little bit is that jump shot 63. It's, again, a good jump shot. Same one as Robert Covington, but it's just like not the most amazing PG jumper, but he's got everything else that you'd want besides range on him. I feel like I'm getting into this thing of I just want to put everybody into B tier, because like with Otis, I don't like him as good as Curry and Rafer Alston at the PG, so I feel like I kind of have to put him in B. Next up is Dominic Nicholas Batum. This one might be a bit controversial, but I'm putting him into A tier. Nicholas Batum, like, he's that guy. Nicholas Batum's got jump shot 40, so like the Rip Hamilton, Shane Battier jumper, but he just has this player build where he is this big, fat body on a court. I know that sounds bad, but like if you use Batum, you know what I'm talking about. He just has this player build that allows him to just be an amazing defender just because of how like big he is on the court, which is awesome. Hall of Fame catch and shoot is a great badge to have. He still has amazing playmaking, like quick first step downhill. He's got awesome defense all around. He can still finish great, and he's a 6'9" small forward, which I think just works great. And also the Pro 3 behind the back, like come on. Honestly, I think Batum is one of the better free cards that we've received in 2K21 so far. It's honestly, he's nice. Next up is the Amethyst Morris Peterson, and this card is trash. I love Morris Peterson. I was hoping we got a better one last year in 2K20. Hasn't happened, and I hope we get a better one in 2K21, because I remember 2K19 Morris Peterson, his diamond token marker card was insane. But this Morris Peterson had a challenge last season where you had to get, I think it was like 15 layups with him or something like that. Just a low amount of layups. And I swear to God, he missed every single one that was relatively contested, and it was the most frustrating thing ever. He's a great shooter. But that's literally all he does. He's basically like Pink Diamond Peja Stojakovic with a better jumper, but Amethyst. Like, I'm still frustrated about those layup challenges. Next up is Pink Diamond. I said Pink Diamond. Amethyst LaMarcus Aldridge. Aldridge is cool. I love the Aldridge jump shot. He's a bit of a pup in the paint, not gonna lie, but I think he's a solid card. I think, again, B tier is solid for him. I might have to move some people around at the end of this because B tier is going to get a little full. But I do think LA is still a great card. He's still solid. You can space out the floor pretty well with him, and that's like a big advantage, and he's still cool. Next up is Diamond Kiki Vandeweghe. Now, Kiki is, he's one of those guys that I feel like really got trashed on when he first dropped. Because, I mean, on current gen, people see Hall of Fame steady, and they're like, yeah, no way. But I mean, he's a good shooter. He's a solid finisher, layup-wise, not really dunking. Doesn't have quick first step and all that sort of stuff. You don't have to add it. You have to add all the defensive badges as well. Yeah, that's kind of annoying. I don't think Kiki's amazing, but is he as bad as Sharif? This is the problem that I'm running into. I feel like I want to put him into C because I don't think he's as bad as Peterson and Samson, but I also don't think he's like up here with the big boys. You know, I'll put him in a D tier. You know what, Kiki, you can get down there. Next up is Opal, Kevin McHale. I mean, like, come on, S tier. He's a 6'11" or 6'10" center with the Treyberg base, has range, has amazing defense, can finish over everybody, and he's just a demon, man. Kevin McHale is great. I have to get on my unlimited grind. I'm only up to the Amethyst tier right now. In unlimited, I have to get on my grind and move up to the Opal and get that McHale because he is honestly disgusting. Like, honestly disgusting. Next up is Pink Diamond Kemba Walker. Kemba Walker is an interesting case because he seriously is a demon on offense. Like an absolute threat on offense, but he just has no defense, which is a little bit tough. But in saying that, he does have good defensive stats. So, like, if you were to give him, you know, clamps, a pickpocket, a pick dodger, you know, intimidator, things like that, this Kemba Walker actually would be a super, super solid card. And it's up to you on whether or not you really want to invest in that. But he still has an amazing jumper and has some really solid, you know, animations. He's kind of like if Chris Webber was a PG, and I feel like I mess with him on that. I like him. I think he's super solid, but again, like, he's solid in that I want to put him up into A, but then you'd be comparing him to Rafer and Curry. I just don't think he's that either, so we're back down to B. Next up is Jaylen Brown, who I'm going to throw up into A tier because Jaylen Brown, as soon as you add quick first step on this Jaylen Brown card, everything opens up for you. He's already an amazing defender and still plays great defense even if you don't have it. And as soon as you add quick first step, his speed is otherworldly. He can dunk on everybody and he's great. And jump shot 75 is one of those jumpers that I didn't like last year, but for some reason, it feels so beautiful and so smooth, and this Jaylen Brown card uses it perfectly. It's the same jumper that Pascal Siakam has, and it is godly. Absolutely love it, and I feel like it's just kind of one of those cards that I just absolutely love. Next up is Pink Diamond Jack Marin. Marin is one of those guys that is basically Terry, which is cool. I think the nickname that he has received is like the lawyer, which is cool. He's another 6'7" guy with a 6'10" wingspan that can play the 2 and the 3. He has amazing Hall of Fame badges. He has just amazing animations. He has a Larry Bird jumper with the Curry slide, long athlete layup package. I mean, Hall of Fame quick first step and intimidator. They gave him gold deep threes and half difficult shots. I mean, like, come on. S tier it is. Like, no doubt. Like, no doubt. Also, I'm realizing if I have Jaylen Brown here. Okay, so next up is Diamond John Morant, a card that is insane offensively, but I feel like just does, it's kind of the same, I guess, Candace is like Kemba Walker, where you have a really good offensive card, but just plays so little in such bad defense that it's like, do you really want to use that John Morant card? Like, are you sure you want to use John Morant? And it's cool. I understand that people like him and he does have bronze range, but I just feel like every time I go against this John Morant card and I see him in the game, I get excited because I know that I can kill him on defense because he just can't do anything. So I feel like I kind of just have to put him down in the C tier, man. Like, he's good, but it's just not worth it. Next up is Ruby Amon Shumpert, who is one of those cards that I kind of recommended to everybody because he can really do everything as a Ruby, which, I mean, why don't you love that? He's a 6'5" guy, which is nice. He's got some nice defensive badges. He's a really solid finisher. Mainly kind of meant to be that, like, drive to the basket, dunking everybody sort of Ruby that still holds his own on defense and can kind of shoot the 3-ball, which is cool. And even has some decent dribbling animations. Like, I like this Amon Shumpert. I think he's solid. I feel like he definitely can go to the B tier, but it feels wrong to put Ruby Amon Shumpert up there with Birdsong and Kemba. Maybe not with Kemba, but I feel like Birdsong is definitely a step up above Shumpert. You know what? We're going to move Birdsong and I think Richard Jefferson up into A. I think both of those guys are super solid for free cards, and I was a little bit harsh on them. So we're going to do that, and we'll move Amon Shumpert into the B tier because I definitely think he's going to play the PG better than Morant. So, next up we got Elton Brand. He can get down to the D tier. It's just one of those exchange guys that it's like, it's not worth your time. There's no way that you're going to pick up a bunch of cards that have like original owners and all this other stuff, like these rare cards. Like, there's no way that you're going to get all them, and then you're going to say, okay, I'm going to use these cards to pick up Elton Brand because I'm excited about using him. Like, no. And if you did, I feel bad that 2K baited you into thinking that Elton Brand was going to be a good card because he was a pink diamond, and you should sue. Next up is Galaxy Opal Dwayne Wade, who obviously is easily going into the S tier. Wade is basically one of the best cards in the game. Like, absolutely love him. He's just kind of like a crutch card for me at this point. Like, I have him all the time, throw him at the PG all the time, just love him. And even though I have Lonzo as my PG right now, Wade is still in there in the lineup. He cannot be stopped. He is absolutely amazing. He's just one of those guys I feel like everybody needs to use if they have him. Next up is Pink Diamond Doug West, a card that I've seen a lot of people give a lot of hate to, probably because he has like Jump Shot 107, which is an interesting jumper, but I mean, he still has some pretty solid dribbling animations, and my guy has amazing Hall of Fame badges, like Quick First Step and Downhill Hall of Fame, and then the most insane finishing badge you could ask for, which one of them is Hall of Fame Showtime and Slithery on current gen. Some of the best badges to have. He can still shoot the 3-ball, still has a good animation for it, and has amazing defense. Like, I don't know why Doug West gets as much hate as he does, but he's actually a really solid pink diamond. So I don't know what it is, but I'm throwing him into A tier. I think he's amazing. Next up is Diamond Domantas Sabonis, who I also think is going to go into A tier. And my kind of logic with it is why he's not going into S tier. Sabonis isn't on the level of Mikhail. That's just kind of it, man. He can't be up there because he's on the level of Mikhail. Domantas Sabonis is amazing, and if he had a different jumper, I think he could have been up there into S tier. But let's be honest, Jump Shot 10 isn't the most amazing jumper. Like, it's good, but it's not amazing. It's not going to be like your knock your socks off kind of jumper. He does have range on it, which is amazing. He's a great playmaker at the big. Has quick first step. He's a solid defender, which is amazing. And overall, I think he's just a great card. And I was actually really happy they gave him out for free because he's amazing. Next up is Richard Barnett. You can go down to the C tier. The jumper is just interesting. He's an okay slasher. There's no real reason to use him too much. Like, I don't want to waste my time on him. Next up is Dan Issel. He's going into A tier. Dan Issel is another card that I feel like gets more hate than he really deserves, just because he was atrocious last year. But this Dan Issel, instead of having some like whack jumper like he had last year, they gave him the Kevin Love base, which is super smooth on 2K20, 21, especially on next gen. Like, it is amazing. And he has, you know, comes with gold range. He has sniper. He has Hall of Fame corner specials and catch and shoot, which is amazing. He has Hall of Fame intimidator. He has clamps. Like, he is a great card. And I don't see enough people get hyped about this Dan Issel. Now, it's probably because he's an exchange card. And again, I don't really see too many people going out of their way to, you know, spend, you know, like 4 pink diamonds, I think it is, to get Dan Issel, which is a little bit tough. And you should definitely save them for some later cards. But I do think this Dan Issel is still an amazing card. And if you have got the things for it, he still is essentially free. Next up is Cuttino Mobley, who I'm going to put into the C tier. I know he's an amazing shooter, but that's really all he does. Like, that's really all he does. He shoots and can get to the basket, offensive demon, but he just cannot play defense. Next up is Connie Hawkins, who I think originally I would have put into B tier, but I still don't think I like Connie above the likes of like Aaron Gordon and that. So I think I'm going to put Connie into B tier. He's a great slasher. Jump shot 4 is great. Good defender. Capable shooter. Has, you know, quick for 7 and all that. He's a good card, but I just don't feel like he jumps out to me as amazing anymore. Next up is Byron Beck, a card that I did actually end up getting. Rare occurrence of the triple threat offline board, and he actually is a pretty solid card. Another one of those guys that's got some good defense, some great finishing. He's a good shooter, has some great playmaking. They gave him a good jumper and jump shot 4, the long athlete layup package. Like, it's just super solid. Like, just does everything well, and he's also a 6'9", you know, forward, so he's gonna play great defense everywhere. So I think A tier is capable. If I'm gonna put, you know, RJ up here, which I might move back down, I think, yeah, I'm gonna do it again. I'm jumping all around with my opinion on RJ, but I'm putting him back down into B. I'm putting him back down into B. That's kind of how it's going. And then we'll move these guys down here. Next up is Pink Diamond Bob Lanier. I feel like it's going to be harsh if I put Lanier down to D tier because he has a niche, but I'm still doing it. I'm still putting him down to D tier. I don't think he's worth it. So D tier it is. Welcome to the land of the bums, Mr. Lanier. Next up is Bob Cousy. I feel like a card that was basically like Chris Paul before we got Chris Paul. Like, he can shoot it well. CP jumper's great. Defense, but like, why would you still be using Cousy? D tier. Next up, we have Pink Diamond Blake Griffin. I'm obviously putting him up in S tier. Blake Griffin is great. The jumper's great. He can dunk on everybody. He gets some of the nastiest posters you've ever seen. And as soon as you add Intimidator, the game opens up for him. Next up is Bill Walton. Welcome to the land of C tier. You're an opal and you play like you're a ruby. How does it feel, Walton? That's a little harsh, but yeah. Bill Walton just like, he's a back to the basket big that doesn't play back to the basket great, which is no. And last but not least, we do have Baron Davis, who obviously is going to be an S tier card. He's a free opal that has the Damian Lillard jump shot base. He's an absolute demon. The normal leaner is godly, and he just literally cannot be stopped. He's just an absolutely amazing card. And overall, I do think that this year with 2K21, we have got a lot of good free cards. You can see there's a lot of good S tier and a lot of good A tier cards that come out and really give it their all and play really great. Let me know which card on here is your favorite. Let me know what you guys think of the list. Make sure you guys like the video, guys did enjoy, and subscribe if you guys are new. We are on that road to 10K subscribers. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see y'all in the next video.